Hello dear students. Teaching, learning should go on. Collaboration is important. Otherwise our growth gets limited. That is, there should be cooperation and collaboration between my students and me. If we do things together, we will win. Yes? So I need your participation also to win. So we will work together. Today I have taken up active and passive voice. Now, the voice of a verb indicates whether its subject is the doer or the sufferer of the action. Yes? Now I've got two sentences. Number one, John cooked the food last night. And the second one is, the food was cooked by John last night. Yes? Now, both the sentences express the same meaning. But in sentence 1, the subject John is the doer of the action. So the verb cooked, is said to be in the active voice. The verb cooked is said to be in the active voice. A verb is in the active voice when its form shows that the person or thing denoted by the subject does something. In other words, the subject is the doer of the action. Got it? Now, sentence 2. Yes? Now, in sentence 2, the subject, that is the food. This is the subject. Yes? The food is the sufferer or receiver of the action. So the verb was cooked. The verb was cooked is said to be in the passive voice. Yes? A verb is in the passive voice when its form shows that something is done to the person or thing denoted by the subject. Active voice is more commonly used as compared to passive voice because it is direct and forceful. Did you get it? Now, use of passive voice. Yes? Now, use of passive voice. What is the use of passive voice? It is to eliminate the mention of the agent. Yes? To eliminate the mention of the agent. Example, the ship was wrecked. Another example, Ravi was found stealing. Yes? Next, to give emphasis to the recipient of the action. Yes? Example, English is spoken all over the world. Another example, I have been invited to the party. Yes? Next use, to make an impersonal statement. Yes? Example, it is hoped that the share prices will fall. Yes? Now we come over to form the food is or has been or will be cooked by him. Another example, the food is or was being cooked by him. Then we have model plus be or have been plus past participle. That is, in active voice we say he may or may have cooked the food. The same thing when we say in passive voice, we say the food may be or have been cooked by him. Yes? Then we have infinitive, that is to be or to have been plus past participle. In active voice, example, we say he is or was to cook the food. In passive voice, we say the food is to be or was to have been cooked by him. Yes? Next, in the ing form, that is being or having been plus past participle. Example, in active voice, we say cooking or having cooked. In passive voice, we say being or having been cooked. Now, we have conversion from active voice to passive voice. That is, if a transitive verb has two objects, any of the two objects may become the subject in the passive voice. For example, in active voice, we say Mary taught Ravi French. The same sentence when we say in passive voice, we say Ravi was taught French by Mary. Or we can say French was taught to Ravi by Mary. Yes? Now, when a prepositional verb is changed from active to passive voice, the preposition should not be dropped. That is, in active voice, they laughed at the joker. Same thing when we say in passive voice, we say the joker was laughed at by them. Yes? Now, to change auxiliary verbs from active to passive voice, add be or along with the past participle to the verb. For example, in active voice, we say Ramesh can do the work. The same thing when we say in passive voice, we say the work can be done by Ramesh. Now, to change imperative sentences from active to passive voice, let be is used if the sentence is to remain imperative. Otherwise, should be is used. For example, in active voice we say open the door. In passive voice we say let the door be opened or the door should be opened. Now, if intransitive verbs are used, the change of imperative sentence into passive voice is carried out in the following manner. I'll show you in the example. For example, in active voice, we say sit down. In passive voice, we say you are ordered to sit down. Now, transitive verb is not changed to passive form, but gives the passive sense. Yes? Now you can see in these sentences, sugar tastes sweet. The that these grapes are sour when they are tasted. Continuous form. Like most continuous forms, the passive continuous is concerned with the continuity rather than the complete state of an action. Example, in active voice, we say the laborers are cutting the firewood. If the same sentence has to be said in a passive voice, then we say the firewood is being cut by the laborers. Another example, in active voice, we say the farmers are plowing the fields. The same sentence in passive voice, we say the fields are being plowed by the farmers. Now, impersonal use. It is the passive voice offers the useful way of expressing something impersonal. That is, it is hoped that, for people hope that. It is said that, for people say that. It is believed that, for people believe that. Now, this form of passive voice is often found in reports. Example, it is hoped that survivors will be found. Another example, it is said that the price of essential commodities will come down. The impersonal use often offers an alternative to the less formal second person use. Example, you usually find that. The use can also replace the third person. One's form, one usually finds that, becomes it is usually found that. Now, I'll give you a set of examples. That is, example, in an active voice, we say, they had to borrow a bicycle from a cottage. If the same sentence has to be said, or the same sentence has to be said in a passive voice, we say, a bicycle had to be borrowed from a cottage. Next example. In active voice, if we say, it disappoints me that the committee has adopted an unrealistic policy. The same sentence, if we say in passive voice, will say, I am disappointed that an unrealistic policy has been adopted by the committee. Again, another example. Give the command. This is a sentence in active voice. If we have to say the same sentence in passive voice, we'll say, let the command be given. Another example. The police were taking him to the cell. This is active voice. If we have to say the same sentence in passive voice, we'll say, he was being taken to the cell by the police. Another example, we respectfully notify customers that they may not bring dogs into the restaurant. This is active voice. If the same sentence is to be said in passive voice, we say, customers are respectfully notified that dogs may not be brought into the restaurant. Now I'll tell you the answers of the previous assignment. Page number 56. Question 4A, number 1. Seemingly, apparently, marks, blotches, dismay, consternation. Part 2, number 1. She was asked to state all the facts related to the report. Number 2. On seeing the policeman, the thief decided to act dumb. Number 3. The committee will present its final report in 6 months. Number 4. All the faculty members of the college were present in the meeting. B1. Mrs. Somers, after getting a sum of $15, had the feeling of self-importance, which she had not enjoyed for years. Number 2. After buying a pair of silk stockings, Mrs. Somers was highly elated. She felt like lying back on a cushioned chair in the waiting room and enjoying her newly bought luxury. Number 3. When Mrs. Somers entered the restaurant, which she had hitherto seen from outside, she felt that her presence would create a feeling of surprise and dismay among the customers and staff of the restaurant. But contrary to Mrs. Somers' expectations, nobody took a note of her presence in the restaurant. Number 4. Mrs. Somers, while sitting in the cable car, wished that her journey should continue forever so that she could enjoy her newfound freedom and indulge in self-gratification. Now, part C, page 58. You have to write one word in one block. Mrs. Somers felt a sense of importance when she unexpectedly got $15. For a long time she had not indulged in anything for herself. So, when she went for shopping and accidentally touched a pair of silk stockings, she experienced an exciting rush of desire. She bought those stockings and immediately put them on. She also bought a pair of stylish shoes and 2 high-priced magazines. She enjoyed a meal in a restaurant and reveled in her newfound craving for self-gratification. While returning home, Mrs. Somers wished that her journey full of pleasure and self-importance to continue forever. Your assignment for today is, please do page number 63, 67, 68, 70 and 71 of your Total English book. Students, please do keep in mind that teamwork is important. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is a progress. Working together is success. So, you and me have to work together. Till then, stay safe.